Good morning. I think most of you are already seated, so I won't ask you to sit. We're about to start. Well, we had quite an exciting morning with champagne breakfast, so I feel like I'm already starting a lunch session, but welcome to the city of Ottawa. We have beautiful weather. I'm not the mayor of the Ottawa, but on behalf of the mayor of Ottawa, I'd like to welcome you to the capital city of Canada, Ottawa. There are many of you that have joined us from the United States, the Netherlands, Vancouver, and many other parts. And also like to welcome those have joined us online from across Canada, across United States, and there's some people in South Korea still up and joining us. So thank you very much. I just want to start by acknowledging that we are on the traditional unceded territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation. We would like to honor the peoples and land of the Anishinaabe Algonquin Nation. Would you all rise for the singing of the Korean national anthem and followed by O Canada. Thank you. Please take your seats. Now I'd like to ask Mr. Kim Yeon-soo, the head of the PUAC Toronto chapter, to deliver the opening remarks. Mr. Kim.
네, 안녕하십니까. Good morning and welcome to the Korean Peninsula Peace Forum 2022. We are honored to have so many distinguished guests, panel speakers, and council members here to discuss the opportunities and challenges of the Korean-Canadian partnership in the Indo-Pacific and Canada's role in the Korean Peninsula's peace process. I'm looking forward to the vital discussions and bold recommendations to emerge throughout the day. The Peaceful Unification Advisory Council is a presidential consultative body established under the Korean Constitution. Our key mandate is to make policy recommendations and implement public diplomacy initiatives in our respective regions. There are 45 overseas chapters throughout the world, and our Toronto chapter covers Ottawa, Montreal, and the eastern provinces of Canada. I would like to thank the PUAC's volunteer members for their time and commitment in preparing this forum. This forum comes at the time of increased geopolitical tensions between the US and China, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the economic and the supply chain uncertainties, all of which threaten the longer-term security and the livelihood of Koreans and Canadians. In a few months, we will be celebrating the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Canada and Korea. I hope this long friendship will help us find creative answers to the top questions we face together. What are the prospects and challenges facing Canada as we seek to further strengthen bilateral and multilateral relationships in the Indo-Pacific? How can Canada help to maintain peace in the Korean Peninsula? I invite you to these vibrant discussions and contributions to a successful forum. Thank you. Thank you very much. 감사합니다.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kim. Thanks for your leadership and dedication to our team. We are very pleased to work under your leadership in putting this forum together. Next, I'd like to ask Mr. Casey Choi, the Vice Chair of the PUAC's Americas region, to deliver his congratulatory remarks. Flew in all the way from California. Mr. Choi.
Good morning. It's my great honor and pleasure to welcome everybody in attendance at the Korea-Canada Peace Forum 2022 for the establishment peace on the Korean Peninsula. This upcoming January will mark the 60th anniversary of diplomatic relationship between Canada and Republic of Korea. The Republic of Korea has evolved from a country that needed tons of aid in the aftermath of a devastating Korean War to being an influential country that today provides to countries in need all over the world. Korean culture, as you know, knowledge like K-way is now capturing the hearts and mind of people around the world. And South Korea is now number 10th largest economic country and sixth largest military power in the world. But in spite of the tremendous success, the Republic of Korea is facing a serious threat stemming from the continuation of the never-ending war against DPRK. The continuation of the war is also a major obstacle to the peace, security, and prosperity, not only for the Korean Peninsula and Northeast Asia, but also of the whole world. The Korean War, which has now lasted 72 years, must be urgently brought to the end. The declaration of the war, the Korean War, should be made immediately, I think, with active diplomatic dialogue for the formal peace agreement. But I know we don't have any diplomatic dialogue with North Korea since 2019 Hanoi no deal. But fortunately, I'm living in Orange County, California. We have a lot of contact with members of Congress in the US. There's a path forward in May last year, May 2021. HR 3446, named the Peace on Korean Peninsula Act, was introduced by honorable members of Congress, Brad Sherman, in the United States House of Representatives. HR 3446 should be considered the key to bring end to the war on the Korean Peninsula. And I'm proud to say that we already have 10% of US House of Representatives, 44 members of the House. I'm also proud to say that the push to the peace of the peace on the Korean Peninsula is an international effort, not only in the US, not limited to the United States. Last January this year, the French Senate unanimously adopted a resolution in favor of declaration of end of the Korean War. And British Parliament last year also adopted a resolution supporting HR 3446. So far, I believe 13 members have co-signed on it. I hope that the international cooperation for the peace on the Korean Peninsula will continue to grow. In a world in which the Korean Peninsula only attracts the world's attention whenever North Korea conducts nuclear and missile tests, followed by the more stricter sanctions on that. I hope that Canada, as a G7 member, very important ally for Republic of Korea, will play a central and creative role in bringing the war to an end and introduce peace to the Korean Peninsula. The peaceful Korean Peninsula is the only viable path for the Korean reunification, which could lead to a new era of peace and prosperity around the world. You heard me correctly. I believe that the peaceful, united Korean nation could export more than just electronics and cars and, as Minister said, semiconductor, but it could export the peace and prosperity around the world, because Korea is the only remaining divided nation in the world after World War II. Thank you so much, and I really want to express my sincere gratitude to all the distinguished panels and guests today from Canada and Korea. I'm very shocked to see a lot of distinguished guests coming together. It's not very easy in US, but I really appreciate that. I'm living in Orange County, but this is my first visit to Ottawa, and I'm very enjoy my visit here. So if you have any chance to come to Southern California, Orange County, just let me know. I'll take you to some Korean BBQ and some California wine. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Choi. There are lots of things that Canadians do better than Americans, but we will take your offers for the Korean barbecue because you actually have better barbecue in California than in Ottawa. Uh, Excuse my Ottawa friends, but we have some we had first surprise with a champagne breakfast in the morning, but I'm also very pleased to introduce our new ambassador is designate from Republic of Korea to Canada. Would you all welcome ambassador designate Mr. Lim Ung Sun?
네, 안녕하십니까. 이번에 주 캐나다 대사로 부임한 임용준입니다. 오늘 이렇게 뜻깊은 자리에 불러주셔서 감사합니다. Distinguished guests, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, before I begin, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Choi Kang-chol, Vice Chairman of the Peaceful Unification Advisory Council North America, and Mr. Yeon-soo Kim, head of his Toronto chapter, for organizing this forum. I'd like to also extend my sincere appreciation to the keynote speaker, Ambassador An Woo-young, as well as the moderators, panelists, and former Canadian ambassadors to Korea for their participation. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today. This is my first official remarks as the Korean ambassador to Canada, and it's my great honor and pleasure to be a part of this forum where prominent opinion leaders will lend their wisdom and expertise to the most relevant topic of the day. I'm particularly pleased that this forum is being organized when political momentum is building up to enhance our relations. President Yoon Suk-yeol, he paid an official visit to Canada last month, and it was his first bilateral visit abroad since he took office in May. In his summit with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, they upgraded our relations to a comprehensive strategic partnership and set out 5 priorities that will guide this partnership in the coming years. Excuse me. Foreign Minister Melanie Joly has just concluded her visit to Korea, and this will be followed by Minister François-Philippe Champagne's visit in November. As Prime Minister Trudeau is expected to visit Korea next year, we are likely to witness the most frequent high-level visits between Seoul and Ottawa in our bilateral history. This commitment to a stronger partnership, now demonstrated in the top leadership, reflects the past, the present, and the future of our relationship. Our relations dated back to the turn of the 20th century, when Korea embarked on the path for modernization. Since then, Canadians have walked that path with us, from building a modern hospital in Seoul and to taking part in the March 1st independence movement. Decades later, Canadian soldiers bled together on the battlefield of the Korean War in our fight for freedom. From war to peace, Canada was there for us every step of the way. And this shared memory has become a powerful bond connecting the two countries. At present, Korea and Canada are like-minded partners that share the values of freedom, democracy, and human rights. As Canada shifts its gravity to the Indo-Pacific region, our shared interests have grown as a member of the regional community. Now we set our sights on the future and strengthen our strategic partnership in AI and other emerging technologies and towards a resilient global supply chain. Against a backdrop of these ever-growing relations with Seoul, Canada is better positioned to contribute to the peace and prosperity of the Korean Peninsula and the Indo-Pacific region than ever before. North Korea's recent provocations of missile tests and artillery shellings show the security threat we still face on the peninsula. As if these provocations are not threatening enough, North Korea appears to be completing all preparations for their seventh nuclear test. Other news of war and growing tensions should not be a distraction from the threats of North Korea. Rather, the North Korea issue cannot be handled in isolation. All security challenges in the region are linked to each other, requiring us to take a broader and strategic approach. There will be ample space for Canada to play a positive role in the Korean Peninsula and Indo-Pacific region. Canada has an outstanding track record as a strong advocate for a rule-based international order and multilateralism, and has developed a reputation as a reliable partner for many actors in the international stage. The suggestions and comments from this forum will surely offer useful guidance for our embassy to follow on. Personally, I trust that Ambassador An, my respected former boss, will provide insightful perspective based on his extensive experience. During his tenure as the Korean ambassador to the United States, he was leading our consultations with Washington on the issues of North Korea and our alliance with the United States. Once again, I'd like to express my deepest appreciation to the Toronto chapter of the Peaceful Unification of Advisory Council for its hard work and dedication to make today's forum possible. Thank you. 감사합니다.